It's the PLUStainment Show. This is a theme song that you all know. Hey, Jane Ellen.
That is the theme song that we all know.
That is the theme song.
So far.
That is it. That is simple. 2 lines. You don't have to worry about Alan Thicke singing or.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You are wearing what is called a buffalo plaid.
I would not even begin to even try to correct you on something like that, Jane Ellen.
Okay. Well.
You are wearing something that matches your decor, which is something I told you in the pre-show, which we used to be able to record. I'm just checking for my dog. Okay. My dog's head is literally behind my desk wheel, so if I move, my dog goes, "Ah!" You just stepped on my head, so can't do that.
That would be horrific.
Yeah, I stepped on her toe earlier because she's so small that she follows me and.
Wait a minute. Say it again. She's so small.
She's so small.
How small is she?
Yeah, she is so small that if you put a lump of coal, she's so small that literally you can't. She moves. She darts. She's a darter. So you're walking along and you don't see her, and all of a sudden you hear because you stepped on her toe because she's literally on top of you. She's like that close to us.
Carson did deliver that a little better.
Hey, I didn't work out the. I'm thinking of a. Man, I remember the cards. Wait. I have a card in my head. I'm thinking. It's 7. 6. No, wait. I'm gonna get it. I can't see this card at all. There's no way I can see it. Are there any queens on Google Plus?
Diamond
Is there
Girl.
a queen?
Oh, many.
Oh my God, a king of diamonds. Look, it was the king of diamonds. That's craziness. This is the best show.
Strangest thing. I did not know that I had a deck of cards, all nude males, and all nude ready-to-play males, let me just say. I assume they were given to me for probably my 21st birthday, just a few years ago, and I chucked them in a drawer. My kids were going through, everyone has a junk drawer, and in my junk drawer I have stuff like marbles, super balls, those little ties that come off of loaves of bread, things like that, and decks of cards. And I found, I was putting the decks of cards back because they found, Mickey Mouse, the little zebra cards, all this stuff in the very back of the drawer. It's like, what? What is this? When did I get this? And I start looking through it. It's like every single one of them.
Now, are these fully nude? No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Piece of clothing?
They're not shirtless guys. See, originally I thought they were just like shirtless guys in jeans and stuff. No. These are not just shirtless guys. I'm so glad I found them. So then I put them. Are we talking about
52 different guys?
Yeah. No. Well, I didn't go through the whole deck. So.
You saw lots of decks in the deck.
Yeah. So then I went and put them on my dresser. And my husband said, "Oh, so you took them out of the drawer where they didn't find them, and you laid them out on top of the dresser so they could see it more easily." It's like, oh.
They, meaning your kids?
I said, yeah, just put them somewhere.
Don't they see your husbands ever by accident, or?
Not that I'm aware of.
You don't think he's ever been?
Aware. Oh, when they were infants.
You don't. Well, they're not. I mean, you guys.
We
you
have
that careful?
Yeah,
but you never walk on that. You never walk around the house ever in less clothing because
they
it's like
see
the weekend
me all the time, but they don't see him.
Oh, okay.
No, they talk about it, and they ask me if I've seen him without any clothes.
Do you want to tell the little story about the expression that one of them said recently that was hilarious? That you had you cracking up?
It was hilarious. Now, let me see if I can remember. Do you remember it exactly?
I don't know the whole story. I just know what the expression was.
The thing about no penises or something? Was that the one?
No, it was this one. I'm typing in the chat. That.
Oh, that one.
That one, yes. It was a little more innocent, but.
Okay. What's the other day?
How many penile stories? Jane Ellen and her kids. Lots of penile stories for you coming up.
Well, we were at the pool, and
naturally where the penile goes.
Said, let's play hide the noodle, and Jim and I just started laughing because she was talking about the pool noodle, and some people don't know what a pool noodle is, but they are about 4 feet long, and and they're hollow in the middle, and they are like really, really long pieces of ziti, I guess.
That sounds like your ex-husband, but you don't have an ex-husband.
And no, and you float. They float. The pool noodles float, and you can put your arms over them and float with them. And so
It's
they're called pool
basically a
noodles.
toy, almost.
It is a toy. I had not heard of a pool noodle till a few years ago either. But when
Noodles
she said
are
to hide the
toys.
noodle,
They're either pasta or toys.
it was really funny. And how do you hide a pool noodle? It floats, and you're in a pool. How do you hide the noodle?
What I want to know is your child is sitting there going, "Let's play hide the noodle." And
hide the noodle, and we're laughing.
And your husband are laughing, and she's like,
yeah.
At no point, Mommy and Daddy, why are you hysterically laughing? No? She's used to it?
Well, we do that all the time.
Oh, she didn't want to know what was so funny? She didn't want to be in on...
She assumed that what she said was quite amusing, and it was.
You amused. Okay, I get it now. So,
I
hide the noodle is not a game
hide the noodle
for every kid, every boy and girl.
By the way, we did not play hide the noodle.
You didn't even play hide the noodle? Now, how would one... Now, the only way I know of hiding the noodle is wearing clothes. That's the only way I hide the noodle. Is to wear clothing.
Yeah.
Or I guess you could hide it.
It's getting creepy because you're talking about my kids. Just by the way.
Oh, I'm done with your kids. I'm moving on to the game hide your noodle. All right, we're done. I'm not okay. Sorry. Why don't I make a video about the top 90 women and put it out there?
I thought you were talking about noodle hiding more, but hiding the noodle, yes, is a euphemism. That's the only way I do it.
Shut up! It's a euphemism. Like what?
Shut up.
Like totally. Is it like when two people get together on prom night? Euphemism kind of thing.
People do that?
They try to, and then they realize that it ain't happening.
Yeah, pretty much not.
It's pretty much. So TV, lots of great. We used to talk about television before the invasion of the comedians. We're gonna do a little second to last Breaking Bad, and you have the season finale of True Blood.
Season finale of True Blood, and
shit hits the fan in both shows, probably.
And some comedy.
Comedy.
The comedy really was the sheriff.
Spoiler alert, by the way. So.
Oh yeah, if you haven't watched True Blood.
The finale.
You're not watching this show anyway. So.
What? We have at least one viewer.
Yeah, whatever. The sheriff, fairies can seduce humans, and Sookie is part fairy.
Wait, there are fairies on the show?
Sookie is part fairy. That's what we found out last season. She's part fairy, but she's not like directly part fairy. She's like many.
And that is not a derogatory comment, just to clear that.
No, fairy is in Twinkling Lights, Tinkerbell, part fairy.
Because there are people on True Blood that enjoy the same sex, right? And they are men.
And Lafayette has gotten even more feminine and even funnier. That has nothing to do with him being feminine. It's just he's gotten funnier. But yes, fairy is in what you think a fairy would be.
Right.
When you think of fairy, as in, okay, I already said that. So, and the fairies can seduce humans very easily. And so this 2 weeks ago, prior to that episode, he was seduced by this fairy, and then he doesn't really remember it, and she shows up, and she's pregnant and ready to go. And so he's telling his girlfriend, oh, I kind of met this chick, but we weren't really together and all this stuff. So the thing is, she gives birth to 4 baby girls right there and says, okay, have a good time raising them. So she leaves the sheriff with 4 infants. And she says, that's the pact. I gave birth to your half-human, half-fairy kids. And
did it take? Was it an instant birth, or there was a
pretty much? And it was. Let me just say, an incredibly enjoyable process for the fairy to give birth to.
Oh, it was orgasmic.
Yes, because it's True Blood. So there was that. Of
course, it was. All right. And so, did they? Now you've been True. This is what was its 5th season or something? Or is it? It's got to be at least 4 or 5.
6th, maybe.
6th.
I don't know.
Has it come close to jumping the shark and being kind of over the top?
I don't know. I have not read the books. I didn't see season 1, but I could care less because you've got Alcide, the werewolf who is smoking hot, and of course you have the beautiful Eric. So I could care less really, as long as there are funny lines and they're taking their shirts off. I don't care.
Okay. So basically, to you, True Blood is like a vampire, like... It
is a vampire soap opera, yes.
Porn.
Soft course. Totally
soft course. It's HBO.
Oh, yeah. Though
Please
my
tell
husband
me.
tried
Wait.
to watch it once,
Okay.
and it really irritated him. He goes, "How many people are in this show? 35?"
They can't keep track
yeah.
of multicast. Okay.
Pretty much.
There are doctors for that. Anyway.
Yeah.
So just because it's HBO and I've seen stuff, please tell me, and this has probably happened. I don't know. I'm totally throwing this.
Okay, I'll try to catch
Please
you up.
tell me that on this show, you know you didn't see season 1. Please tell me that peni and testicles do not get bitten off. Ever.
To my knowledge, if they have, the fairies bewitched me, and I don't remember it.
Now, do you not? Now you know, like that makes sense. HBO, True Blood, sex, peni, vampires.
Yeah.
You think that they would go in that territory?
No, they usually stay more toward the neck.
Oh, just the neck.
That's usually where they start.
6 seasons.
There've been some beheadings, but I don't actual heads.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
That's good. So, did you enjoy the season and the finale, or was it?
Yeah, the usual. Remember now, when they're vampires, they're not the nice, clean kill of a vampire from Buffy. Because I've been on my Buffy kick. I'm rewatching Buffy from the very beginning, and when Buffy stakes a vampire, they turn to dust and they're gone. But when the vampires are killed on True Blood, they're gone, but this gloppy mess is left, and it's icky. So there is that. There was a really great killing scene of a vampire because one of Sam, the shifter, he had shifted into the form of a fly, and he went down the vampire's throat, and then he shifted into human shape, and so he went, and he burst out of her, and of course that made her explode.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, doesn't it though? And I hate it that Russell Edgington, I guess, is actually killed off for real this time because he was a great character. And he was killed off at the beginning of the episode. It was terrific.
What is Anna? It's Anna Paquin, right? I feel like Anna Paquin is...
I have no idea what you just said.
Anna Paquin. Isn't that who did the Sookie? Is Anna Paquin? Can you not hear me?
Yes, I can now. I'm just looking at you. Yes.
Okay. Anna Paquin, not Anna Grace. I'm not bringing your kids back into this. Anna Paquin, who plays Sookie, it's like, I feel like she is a better actress, better looking version of Julia Stiles, and I want to say that, normally I would say that she is the poor man's Julia Stiles, but since I think she's better, she's like the independent version maybe. But she's not so independent. True Blood is a hit. Julia Stiles is like, not, maybe she is, maybe Anna Paquin's risen above Julia.
And didn't Anna Paquin win the Oscar for the piano?
I believe so. I think she did win, because I remember her crying. That was a great movie.
I'll go for that.
Yes.
Well, the big thing at the end was the whole season you didn't know whether or not her former man, Bill, who she's actually married to in real life, was he faking being crazy and bad just to deal with what was going on, or was he really crazy and bad the whole season? And he really was crazy and bad the whole season. And so it ends with Eric and Sookie running out of there and Bill just going, "Whoa!" That was it.
So I thought True Blood came around the same time as Glee, and the two of them premiered, and I was like, should I give these two shows a shot? And I was watching a lot of stuff, and I heard mixed reviews, and so...
You gotta watch True Blood and realize it's funny. If you're watching it and you're gonna think this
like the
has to be
sci-fi
serious,
and the gore and the vampire part of it is really secondary, or...
Yeah, you just have to watch it with a sense of humor, and that's how you take it. If it's a serious drama that involves vampires that you're looking for, this is not what True Blood is. It's more of a dramedy, sex romp. It's not so much satire, but it's real funny to me.
It also helps that there are a lot of hot people that are naked. Now, has there been...
Honestly, it doesn't... Honestly, I could care less if they're naked or not. They could have their clothes on. I like it because it's funny.
Well, there you go, True Blood.
But Buffy is funnier, but that's what I like about it. I like the asides.
Well, Buffy has... I've seen more of Buffy. I've never seen True Blood. Buffy definitely is more of a pop culture-y kind of in your face.
Yeah,
like,
there
it's almost
are
like
more
Buffy is
like
almost
that.
like Buffy is almost like a 90210, except they're not. I don't know how rich they are. Well, Buffy does well in the movie. She was kind of like better. She was like a rich kind of girl, right? I don't know if they ever touched that.
They did
And
a little bit.
so I mean, like, so it's just basically a high school show, except there are killing vampires involved
Hmm.
and all that. And so yeah, that's cool. I mean, True Blood. I don't know. I think to me, Alan Ball is great, but he's not even he didn't even write the show. He just worked as a kind of secondary show. I don't know. That's the creator. But yeah, so
it amuses me.
that's good. Breaking Bad's awesome. I know you don't watch it. You should watch it.
I'm about to watch it. When I'm done with my Buffy fest, I'll do that.
It is intense.
About it.
Yeah, it's intense. It is. Sure, there are things that make you laugh and like any good drama, but it's a show. After you watch it, you feel stressed during the show. Like it's exciting and intense, but you really do feel that. Like when it stays with you after the show. You're like, what did I just? Because they really take you on this like it's like you're right there. And this last episode, there's one more left, and they split the last season into 2 summers of 8 episodes, which kind of sucks. I only get 8 episodes, and then I have to wait a whole other summer for the conclusion of the entire show. The show is over next summer, so
they've already filmed it.
I don't know if they filmed the next 8 episodes, but they've definitely. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there'll be a break. I'm guessing. I don't really know how they. Maybe they did, but it would make sense for them to film all 8 and then just hold the 8 until later. They wanted 2 full more seasons, which would have been nice, and I think you can tell the show's been great, but you can tell like they're revealing stuff and doing stuff quicker than a normal pace because they have less time. And so you'll see a show and you'll be like, wait a second. Normally they don't go that fast, and you see characters make mistakes. You're like, there's no way, based on what I know about this character, that they would make that mistake or whatever. But they need it as a plot device. Things like that happen. So, but nevertheless, there was a death, and it was kind of not a shock that it was coming. You knew that things were getting down to the wire, and Walt, the main meth guy, and he's totally this guy. He was a chemistry teacher, and now he was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, and so they were in debt. They were broke.
So you already know that he's going to die next year. It has to end with him dying, right?
Okay, so.
Or has that changed?
Well, I don't want to get into it, but I mean, I think.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but I think as far as him dying, whether it's by cancer or something else, I have a sense that like it almost feels like he has to die. I mean,
yeah,
I just think
he has to die because of what he's done.
Because of everything, yeah, it almost feels like he has to die at some point. But it would be interesting. It would be really interesting if he didn't. People would be like, "Oh, wow, he didn't die," but I think he has to die. It'll just be interesting. It's more interesting to see how he dies and how that happens, and it's the guy, the main DEA agent is his brother-in-law. So, that's who's on his tail, and that's why it works out, and it doesn't work out for him. So we'll see. But it was a crazy good episode, and not necessarily the best of the season so far. I liked it, but him and his wife, there was an episode this season this show is full of blood, full of violence, and there was none of that. It was him and his wife, just this emotional roller coaster of. She's at a point where, well, I don't want to get into it, but it's comes to a head, and it's like really intense to watch these 2 characters that you've seen this whole arc throughout how many seasons? Season number 5, I think. It's crazy, but it's a great show, and you should watch it. So anyway, lots of new stuff happened on Google+. Craziness is going on.
Yes, and
Feature
you got a
galore.
vanity URL.
Okay, so I've read that Bradley Harwood's VP of, he's like, I don't think not that he talks like he's a British vampire, but I don't think we like vanity URLs. We actually like calling them custom URLs and personalized URLs. So, that's terrible.
You're the man.
I did get one, but I had to connect. I had to engage and hang out and network with people. It's just, that's the other thing, too. A lot of people are like, oh my God, how do I get one, this and that? I do this, I do that, but to be honest with you, it's like things that it's okay. I didn't win the lottery. I got an URL. That's great. But it was one of those things where you just
wait. You won the lottery? What?
I wish. I would let you know. I won the lottery at Google Plus. Not yet. But it's one of those things where people are like, "Oh, how does it happen? How to get it done?" And I think everyone will get it eventually. But look, all you got to do is be involved and be engaged and interact and hang out and talk to people and. Over time, you develop relationships with people. And things happen. I mean, you have to go to stuff. Try to be as involved as possible. I don't know, throw a roll and watch the magic in the Awesome Matt.
Watch the magic. And we're going to be hurling together in October.
Is that a definite?
Yeah, it's a definite.
Okay, cool. Yeah, October. I don't know when you'll be here, but so the New York Google Local, I just went to a baseball game with them. They want to do a photo walk with me. Maybe we'll do Oktoberfest type thing. Maybe Boris and Sally will be involved and get to meet them. Maybe we could do a whole walking beer thing. Not that you need to drink
Did
beer.
I mention that the girls are coming?
Sure, yeah. We can go to a place that serves beer or you can just wait outside with the girls. And
Or you'll be traveling south. I don't know yet. I don't know all the details.
yeah, I don't even know details. I don't know what's going on. But,
all I know is we'll be hurling in October.
Hurling is good. Yeah, Lynette Young maybe too. If she's not busy doing purple stuff.
Well, I know she'll be hurling.
Okay, that's good. 2 viewers. That is 2 more than I expected. That is crazy.
Oh my God!
I believe I paid 2 people to watch the show tonight, and
that is spectacular.
that is so spectacular. I think people are oversaturated at this point. Is that what it is, Shane?
Pretty much.
They can't find anything either. That's the other thing too, is that this new feature is like never miss an important post again. Well, tell me, what's an important post? I mean, I love Jane Ellen. All her posts are important, but there are levels of importance. Right, exactly. So how do I know which ones are going to be the important ones and which ones are going to be like, oh yeah, that's nice, but because I looked at all your posts, now I can't see other stuff. So how do I don't know if they're going at the problem the right way. They always call everything a problem or how to solve a problem. A challenging.
If there's someone that you like to read their stuff, then you circle them, and so I would think most of what they put up. I mean, whatever someone generates, you're not going to love all of their stuff all of the time. Well,
I think
except for our stuff, but
our stuff's good.
You just aren't going to love all of their stuff all the time, but you will like most of their stuff, which is why you chose to circle them.
It comes to habits. It comes down to habits. I think a lot of people they all use plus differently in their habits of where they look for stuff, and that is the big issue. And I think that if you have, let's say you make one of these subscription circles, you put 10, 25, 2 people in there, you move it on up to get the notifications. Well, guess what? Now you're going to get all the emails and notifications of all that stuff. You know what? Instead of, you know what you can do instead? You click on that circle, and then you look at the same stuff, right? Isn't it the same thing? I mean,
I know that you don't see all of my great posts because it was 5 days ago that I put up the hover bike. And I should have said, hey, Matthew, you need the hover bike. But today it was all new to you because you got it from a different source.
Oh, the Star Wars speed
Star Wars thing. So, I mean, there are some people that I tag Star Wars related stuff into right away. And so therefore everything is of import. But it all depends on where you get your stuff. And there's just so much. I try to keep the people I circle down to a smaller number so I see everything they put up. And I try not to get it over a certain number. And then...
And you know me, I've been at the limit of 5,000 since God knows when. So there's and then I sit there and try to think in my head, okay, everyone that I've hurled with, and then everyone that I know in Hangouts, and by the time, like, you go and look at my Plus First post, I don't know how many people I tagged in that thing. But if I went back and counted, it's got to be 1,000 plus in there, right? That I tagged. Could be. I don't really know, but that's it. It's just that you meet so many people, and then there are people you might have met, and you're like, oh, I forgot, or they went away, or and there's this girl Robin Menikoff that hung out at the beginning, and she lives in New York. I never met her, but she'd always be coming in Hangouts, and she'd always be like, wait, who said that? Wait, who? And she was not joking. She literally would. I've seen people do this as well. They're kind of just like sitting here and they're listening, but they don't. Someone says something that they either agree with or disagree with, and they want to know who said it and instead of like just watching the people go by and figuring it out, they're always asking everyone, oh, who said that? So we kind of made like a little joke like, who said that? You know, and so there's a page for it, but I'll use it like, for me, it's not like who said that as in like who's actually talking. I use it as like, so Google's got their pants on backwards. Who said that? Not me. That kind of. It's not that they do wear pants. speaking of wearing pants, the whole female. So there's the video issue with the females, and there was an article about.
By the way, I am actually wearing pants in this hangout. I usually am not.
I'm wearing pants too. That's awesome. Can we see your pants?
Well,
That'll screw up your whole system.
I've got my legs all yoga crossed and stuff, but yeah, just
Yoga
trust
crossed. I trust you. I believe you.
I am wearing pants.
But
you wouldn't know. But
I believe you.
Anyway, yes, females.
Yeah. So there's this video that was put up in
which I have not seen.
90 females, and also on top of that, there was an article in the New York Times talking about a certain company that we mentioned already having issues with female employees, and one of them left to go run in Yahoo and all that. And I don't really know the truth. We don't know what goes on or what doesn't in these companies. But overall, when it comes to the internet and women, Jane, you are a woman on the internet, and I just get like, I hear women talk all the time. Oh, you're a man. You don't get it. You don't understand our plight. It's so tough being a woman. And this is, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying what I hear. You don't
have a plight.
Right? And you don't understand. I have to see Pina and people from the other side of the world are messaging me and calling me pretty and sexy. It's awful. They don't even know me. They're objectifying me. Their cameras are like this. They can't. I don't see them. God knows what they're doing. God knows what they're doing under there. It's craziness. So Jane, please, you be you, or the voice of all women. Or speak for you. Speak for all women. Speak for both. I mean, talk about Google Plus, because that's what we're here on. Talk about that idea. Because Google Plus, I am saying today, overall, there's more drama on Google Plus than any other network I've ever been on, and this is the reason, because of what we're in now. We're in a Hangout. This video, it's here. Never before have you been on a site where there's the Hangout aspect with the things that are written aspect, the stream, the combination, the G-Talks, all of it together has never grouped. That is what makes it more three-dimensional, and that's what makes everything more intense and more in your face, where on MySpace or Facebook it might be, oh yeah, it's usually people in your real life that are bothering you, not necessarily people that you've met. So just keeping that in mind. Not that I love Google Plus, but I mean, I think it's fair to say that there's way more drama here than ever anywhere else because of the kind of dynamics that go on. So, all right, Jane, as I segue back to the women thing and the whole, what's it like being a girl on the old internet?
Being a girl.
What's it like? Is it all cracked up to be?
Well, a lot of people. Now, before I say what it's like being a girl on the internet, you have to remember my perspective is different. I am a girl on the internet. However, I am a girl who is used to a small amount of fame. Some girls on the internet, I will say, of the, let's say, 200 million on Google Plus, are not used to any amount of fame. I am only marginally famous where I live and in some other small circles. I am in no way a celebrity. To some people, I am. I do not consider myself one, but in the town that I live in, I am considered one, and I realize that. I'd be stupid not to realize that.
And also, I think when it comes to celebrity, I think a lot of people are like the definition of a celebrity, what a celebrity is. I think most people think, okay, celebrity is somebody that is in the papers, that's in the press, that are an actor, a singer, an athlete, personality.
I did radio in the town that I live in for many, many years, and the last 10 years I was on the number one hit radio station. I did mornings and was number one.
And you were awesome at that.
Yeah.
So are there old shows for us to go check out? You can tell us later anyway.
But a lot of them are lost, actually, because the hard drive crashed.
Can I just make a comparison? So you being this radio host in this town, not to belittle, that's great. But when what I'm talking about celebrity, so let's say
I know. I'm not saying that. Okay. I just want to say I'm used to a small amount of people I don't know who know me. That's what I mean.
Can the same thing be said though about, let's say someone's voted class president of their or president of the entire high school? You don't know everybody in the high school unless it's like 10 people. If it's like 500 people,
my high school,
1,000.
I had 4,000 people at my high school.
Yeah.
Almost 700 in my senior class. So I knew most people. I knew a lot of faces. I did not know,
Nobody could know
every
really.
single name. But yeah, you have an idea. And there are many people who, they either think they know who you are or they have an idea of who you are. So I'm used to strangers approaching me, even to this day. Like it happened to me. Actually, it happened to me 2 days ago. Someone came up to me. They wanted a picture taken with me, and they hugged me. I had no idea who they were. That happened in real life, and so I pretended I knew who they were, and I went about my business. So that's why my perspective is slightly skewed, but only slightly, because I am in no way a celebrity, a real celebrity. I'm in no way a real celebrity. Someone like Jerry Ryan, who first of all is a Star Trek celebrity, second of all is a working actress, and who also has a huge following on Google+. Those are two different things. So that's where my perspective is coming from. So people who say hi, hi, hi all the time, you're pretty, you're this, you're that, if I have never interacted with them, it depends on the follow-up. It depends on if I just put up a post about eggs. I just did a post about whether or not eggs were good for you or not, because there are 2 studies up. And if your response to this post about eggs is, it's sexy, sexy time, okay, you're an idiot. And that's my opinion of you, because that's not what we're talking about. Now, if I put a provocative picture of me up, and that is your response, well, then I will decide what to do from there, because I put a provocative picture of myself up. I didn't put a news story about eggs. So that's where I'm taking it from there and interacting from there. In Hangouts, I was only in one group hangout where someone came in and was trolling it and put some nude picture up, and everybody blocked all at once. And that was it. I have not gone into a hangout and was met with, 9 peni, but I don't go into hangouts where I don't know someone else just for that reason.
Can you just, I'm sorry, can you just
say 9 peni again?
Yeah, can you just say I was not in a hangout where I was met by 9?
I was not in a hangout where I have been met by 9 peni. Or someone with 9 peni.
Wow, that's like Total Recall.
Actually, that was the case. I'd almost
that would be
see that.
fascinating.
It would be fascinating, wouldn't it? Well, I mean, how would you find pants to fit if you had 9?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
And wait, and so you can't talk for all women, but just like
no,
can't
talk for all women.
Just like you can't talk for all men.
But
but the idea, so I think
I take things case by case.
Case by case. That's what people should do, right? So there are women out there that are like, peni are so, it's awful dealing with peni, but I'm sure there are women out there that say that it given the right situation or the right whatever.
The right peni.
The right peni, they might be, oh, of course I want to see. What? Are you nuts? But you said, but that's not, no. I'm not saying that's true, I'm just giving an example. All right, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt you. As I lose female followers by the second. Damn you, Rappaport! Shut up.
Let's see.
Talk about how difficult. Well, the idea that it's crazy hard and difficult, and being a woman versus a man.
Are hard? What?
Baby.
What?
But so okay, so you're in a hangout and you see peni. Is it just like, I mean, this idea that you're in a hangout and you see women see peni, but a man's in a hangout and he'll see.
I have heard they do. Okay.
And men are in a hangout, and if they see boobs and
I have
vagina,
been in a hangout where all the guys take their shirts off. You know what? I've seen men without their shirts on before.
Right.
I don't care. I can stay or I can go.
That's the point.
I can stay or I can go. And you very wisely have said before that men and women most likely, because we had an interesting discussion about this, view video hangouts as something different. Men might possibly view it somewhat like television. They can just turn it off And even though the other person can talk back to them, the guy can just turn it off.
This
Where
is really wise. I said all this. This is.
you said that.
That's awesome.
Where
Thank you
where women may find it more of an emotional investment and not something you just turn off. And you were not speaking for all guys, but it was just a thought.
Observation.
You know, a guy's going to watch TV or not watch TV, or they're going to be in a hangout or not be in a hangout, or they're going to be on a phone call or not on a phone call, or playing a video game or not. And all of them they can turn off. And women don't always act that way.
Yeah.
They may be a little more invested. Believe me, when I play video games, I am invested in the video game. So, you know, it depends. Video chat, this is changing the way people interact for good and bad. I mean, I think it is making, I think when the internet gave us the ability to communicate worldwide, but we couldn't see each other, it was, in one way, you could hide more. You could exchange information, which was great, but you didn't always know who you were exchanging information with. But for education and for science, I mean, all of a sudden things were opening up and people could exchange. But now you can see each other, and I've been in on some amazing conversations where people in countries where they do not historically get along, they're all getting along because they realize that it's just another person, and that, I think, is the key.
And I also, with Hangouts, I've learned that things like, oh, what we think countries hate each other and all that. I've talked to lots of people from different countries, and they're like, that is just what your media is showing you. Like, that is not the full truth. So a lot of that happens, too.
And I think that's fascinating and wonderful because you get to actually talk to just a person.
Let's see who knocks over their background first in your review. Because you're like knocking into it.
Oh, it's just a stupid chair rocks. I hate it.
It's right. We rock. That's fine. We rock.
So there are all these different aspects going on, and as the first wave of active video chat users, there's a lot to figure out.
So talk to me a little bit about this idea of feminism and what it's like to be a feminist. And I've seen people say, oh, all women should be feminists, and we're not all. And just because we're feminists doesn't mean we're like some kind of like card-carrying Nazi or whatever.
First of all, even though I do look like a member of the Aryan race, I am not a Nazi. And as I told you before, my German side did leave well before the war.
Springtime.
The war. So what's your definition of a feminist?
So as a kid, when you're growing up, you know, everything's cartoon-like. So, you know, I think when I was younger, feminists would be like, oh, men are wrong and just this and burn our bras and all that. But I think there's a modern take on feminism, and I think you could be. I don't think being a feminist defines who you are. I think it's just a characteristic, and I think that I think the idea of a feminist is that you believe in women's rights. That's basically it, right? That's to me that's the simplest form, is that you are a very strong believer that women are equal and have rights and should be treated with respect, right? But as far as how people act on that and what it actually means to them, I mean, at this point, you know, sure, women, minorities, you name it, religions, sexual orientation, it's always going to be somewhere, maybe way into the future, you know, where people will all believe in evolution, and there won't be any more, you know, we'll be at peace. And I don't know if that'll happen, but Bill Nye said it, so maybe it'll happen. He knows everything. But I just wonder if sometimes people like to everyone likes to get on a soapbox now and then, and I think that a lot of people want to, I don't know, appear in a certain way, but a lot of people that I just they use their like adjectives and words like for the moment. It's like, all right,
So feminist is the hot button word, so they're just using that.
Not everyone, but I think there are people that do that. You don't think so? That for any, we'll say,
yeah.
okay, now I'm
People use whatever word they want to use.
I'm a vegan, but I'm a vegetarian, but I eat chicken, fish, and occasionally a hamburger. What? You know, that, I'm not saying me, but anyway. But yeah, I think at the basic, a feminist is someone that respects, that think that women should have equal rights and be respected just as much as men, right? They're very passionate about it. I mean, I think, unless it's just
honestly,
women.
I would have to look it up to see if that is the specific definition.
Well, I could find a specific definition.
Feminist. Yes. I believe women should have equal rights as men. Women, I don't think, can write their name in the snow with their urine, unless their name was Dot. Maybe.
Well, they could try.
They could try.
It does. I think I am correct. That's the actual definition.
That is the actual specific definition.
The doctrine advocating social, political, and all other rights of women equal to those of men. So supporting.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, that's basically an organized, and then the movement, feminist movement, for the attainment of such rights, and but I think that there's a negative connotation sometimes with feminism because, it's like women want to be respected and equal, but a lot of them still want to be. And then there's no way for me to say this next sentence without sounding sexist. So you could say, because I'm not.
They want to be taken care of.
Well, they're not necessarily taken care of, but they want to be. They want it
both ways.
Yeah. Look. I think you could be equal. I believe you could be a woman, be equal. And women don't, in fact, they don't, biologically, they don't even, I think study, they don't even need men. They can go be independent, they get their own money, and they can have their own kid, they can do all that, raise a kid on their own without any guys, they don't need men. And I don't know, maybe it works the other way around too, but there is that negative connotation that, women that are feminist, a lot of them are anti-men and there's that stigma, right?
I see where you're coming from.
I'm just, this isn't what I believe.
I would never burn a bra because the really good ones are very expensive.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. And so.
But I believe the bras they burned back then were the cheap kind.
They probably were. That's what I'm guessing. Because, you're paying like $50 and up for the really good ones. So why would you want to burn that? You just wouldn't. And the wires aren't really, they're going to melt. Again, personal choice there. It was funny, when I got married, oh geez, we still hear it. We've been married 19 years. It's like, wow, you two are not alike at all. And it was like, you guys are getting married? Really? That's what we got. And it's because, hard to believe, I tend to be a little bit on the chatty side, and strong-willed is sometimes what I am called. Sometimes. But, believe me, the idea of having someone, do something for me, that is such a turn on. And the minute I find someone who can do that, I will let you know. That'd be great. Yeah, because I think it just depends on what you like. I am in no way anti-men. I have just as many male friends as female friends. I may even have more male friends because I always worked in male-dominated professions, and I catered my language to accommodate it. So I was seen as strong as my male counterparts because I already was smarter than them and better educated. That was obvious.
Obvious.
So, and the truth.
It does it. I think
it depends on what you like.
I just don't think we need to live in a competition world, although we do live in a competitive world.
But that's also human nature.
Yeah. Yes.
And there are some, it just depends on the person. I mean, some guys will fall apart at the strangest things and others will not. Some women will fall apart at the strangest things and others will not. It's human nature, feminist or not feminist. But uh, those who think that people of different sexual orientation or different sexes or different skin color are in some way inferior to another, those people are the morons, because they're not.
So I think, as far as like as far as the internet goes and what people put up and post and say, and everyone with the internet and with life, people sometimes, it's about a consistency. It's about your overall work. Everybody's gonna say something and do something asinine. It's for human beings, but I think overall, you get a sense of who people are, and you just have to. I just wonder at some of the things that are said, and people like. I don't know. I think that like this whole video thing. I don't know. I know a lot of it, but I don't know every single word that was uttered, every action that was done. This video was put up, yeah, by a guy, and it seemed, from what I saw the video, I saw it seemed like just another person putting up a tribute video, and he chose the top 90 women according to socialstatistics.com. And I guess he didn't do the strict 90. He did most of the 90 and took a few people out and put a few other people that he liked in. I don't know. He basically took all their public profile pictures on Google+, put them all in a slideshow video, and put a song to it. This song was described as sexual, or suggestive, or pornographic, or maybe the way that...
the song?
I don't know the name of the song, but I'll tell you this. There was guitar. Or something? It was not. It was a blues. It was a blues song. Blues, kind of old style. It was not. I don't remember the words, but I didn't hear anything in the words that suggested it was anything sexual. But I can't be for certain. But I just the way the pictures came across, it would be like it looked like he used some kind of program that like you put pictures in some kind of program and it will create the slideshow and it will zoom in and zoom out like a lot of websites have that where it says pick a style and then it zooms in and does stuff. And I don't think there were 90 pictures. I don't think this guy took the time to specifically try to zoom in on the picture. I think he just loaded all the pictures up, because to copy and paste all these pictures and load them all up into the video is task enough. So I don't know for certain. So that was put up, and I played it, and it's kind of boring. It's like, all right, no offense to the guy. I was like, all right, I'm watching it, picture, picture, picture. It's like, great. Like, to me, if I thought, I was like, oh, this looks interesting to see top women. Okay, let me see what it is. Oh, all right, it's a bunch of profile pictures. And you fast forward, okay, it's a bunch. That's it. And so, and you know what? Let's say it was the top 90 men. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'm in there. Great. Maybe I'll reshare it. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be like, thanks for including me in the video. That's it. I'm not like, and to be clear, all these pictures were pictures that are publicly out there that people see every single day when these people are being interacted with. As far as what was said, what was commented, who deleted what comment, how people acted, how he acted, how the other people acted. I don't know the specifics, and maybe he was wrong, and maybe they were wrong, and words were said. I don't know. But the idea that people posted so much about this one video, and the idea that, sorry, now I'm on my soapbox, the idea that there was a guy that, when I went to search for the video to show it to some people to see what they thought, there was a guy that put up a whole post about, this guy that made the video is my first permanent block. And then he went into this whole thing I didn't read. I'm like, you made an entire post, this TLDR, long post, about why this man that made this video is now the first block on Google+, and all this stuff about how this guy's also a plagiarist and this and that, and that leads into this whole thing about what's really original on the internet. We've had this debate for countless times on Google+, like, if I post something that I didn't create, that I found, whether I found it on Google search or some website, a meme site, or whatever, and I post it, that is the picture, the video, that's not original. What I put with it, commentary and all that, probably is original. So it's like half original. And then if someone comes along and steals that same picture, steals it, and puts it up and doesn't reshare it. They put it up themselves. Maybe they do it within seconds, within minutes. Maybe they do it within days or hours. And I've had times where I shared something, and 6 days later someone else shared it, and I'm like, I don't think, oh, they must have got it from me. I'm like, oh, they must have seen it somewhere. That's all. So, I mean, there are times where somebody literally will post something within seconds of you posting it, or like within 2 minutes, where you're like, this person circled me. I feel like they saw it and probably copied it, but whatever. What's it? Like, all right, so be it. I mean, so what? I mean, and you know what? There was a time where I brought a short film from a friend that was on Facebook that I wanted on Google Plus, and I brought her film and put it up there, and it didn't necessarily go viral when I put it up there, but I saw other people within minutes of commenting or watching, they put it up themselves, and some of those went viral, and all that, and I wasn't necessarily connected in there, but what am I going to do? I mean, but I knew that, like, okay, this is someone I know that's not famous, that made a film that had hits, but it wasn't like, she wasn't on Plus, and I brought her over, and I just felt good about that and her exposure. Mm-hmm. But that is a specific case, and what am I going to do? Oh, hey, you, how could you not reshare it and put it, like, whatever. So, I mean, to this whole idea of plagiarism and giving credit and crediting people for reshares I try to do, but crediting the original source, what some people do, they'll put the link and all that, but sometimes you put the link and that's not the original source. So that's another issue. But getting back to this guy and the whole idea of how wrong he was, I mean, ethically, should he have asked for permission? Sure. But when people make tribute videos of Keira Knightley or Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Pirillo, do you really think that they sit there and they go, hey...
You watched a Robert Downey Jr. tribute video?
No, but I'm guessing they exist. No, but I did see not a tribute video, but I saw he did at Comic-Con, he was with all the Iron Men, so that's about as close to a tribute video. And the movie, chances are, that's a great movie. And I used to love that movie because it dealt with afterlife and all that. And also,
well, you know what you have said, you being wise, you've said, at the end of the day, it's just the internet. Calm down. Right. Are you going to let this follow you around the rest of your life? It's the internet. Calm down. That's what you say. And you know what? You're right. That's what you say.
But I just, it kind of irks me that people, the battles that they pick to go at, that, like, I've seen it before, someone that is, it's not even, like, it was someone that had a gazillion followers or whatever, someone that's, like, just posting stuff. And, someone's like, oh, just because he doesn't post porn, what does that mean? Is that supposed to define people's characters by what they post? Like, well, it's a start, considering a lot of women will look at Hangouts and be like, oh, this guy posts porn, this guy needs to be blocked, this guy's awful. So, all right, so if that's, a lot of women like to use that as a standard, right? They're like, let's look at his profile. Oh, it's all porn, blocked. And then someone's like, well, this guy doesn't post porn, he posts regular stuff. And they're like, wait a second. Then someone else comes on, what is that for? How is that a standard? I'm like, but it just was a standard, like, because people are individuals. But then they're going after him for the plagiarism, and I don't really know what the deal is with that. And maybe they're like, okay, he doesn't post porn, but everything he posts is unoriginal or is plagiarized. And I think he just posts links. Like, you're allowed to post links, so.
And there are some people who, and I know a little bit of the story you're talking about, and I do not know which side is correct, but there are some people who just post pictures they found on the internet, and sometimes that's what they'll say, picture found on the internet, not where, but picture found on the internet, or they simply post reshares, and that's all they post, because I guess that's what makes them happy. Okay, right. That's what makes them happy.
So
it's their stream.
So be it. I think the only big, I mean, monetization of someone else's stuff is the big thing, because, when you share other people's stuff and you share things, you're helping. I mean, you are kind of helping. I mean, of course, if they don't know who it is, then it's tough. Maybe it's not, but they can search if they really want, image search, and it's not as big a deal. But I don't know. I don't
see. For instance, I share Boris Gorlick's stuff a lot because I know Boris. I love his work, and I like to get it out there.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good, Jane Allen. It's good.
It's good. Whee! I mean, do I share it every day? No, but I do share it, and I know it's his, and that's it. I happen to like his stuff, and I don't add anything to it because the picture can speak for itself. It's just I happen to like it. And if you like it even more, then you can circle Boris and see even more of
Oh
his
yeah,
stuff.
Boris is great. Circle him. I have pictures coming up from Sunday. I'm still on set. I'm just getting the Saturday of the Hurl, where it was him, me, Sally, Max, and my friend Mike, and lots of pictures with him in it. And hopefully in October he'll be part of it. But
Boris is great.
yeah, he's great. There are a lot of great photographers and people here.
So I was just thinking about that today. I thought, you know, I'm not a great photographer. I don't really have that to offer in my stream. I don't.
It's all opinion, though. I mean, like, what's good, what's bad. I mean, there are a lot of people that are known as photographers that don't do it for a living. They just like to do it.
So it just depends.
But I think I don't want to
Witty
dwell.
repartee is really all I have to offer.
Witty, and that's
And
good.
that-
And you get to be pretty. So.
Gee, thanks.
Wait, was that sexist? I'm sorry. What?
No, it wasn't sexist at all.
I'm pretty too.
You are pretty.
But not as well. But the idea of I was saying like a witch hunt, but I mean maybe that's harsh to say, and that was not meant as a because it wasn't just because there weren't not against witches, and there weren't just women. There were men that were involved as well in this whole thing. And
Would that have been warlocks then?
Warlocks, whatever. Yeah.
Was Dr. Bombay involved?
Dr. Bombay was involved, and the Wicked Witch in the new Oz movie, not in the old classic movie that's coming out. That witch. I don't know. Is that? Oh, is that Rachel Weisz? What's her name? Is that her name? Anyway, that doesn't.
Oh, her from the Mummy. That chick.
The Mummy chick, I think. It could be
And Constantine, her, really?
I don't know.
She's a Wicked Witch.
Maybe, or maybe it's someone else. I know that Michelle Williams is Glenda, and Mila Kunis is one of the witches too. So
what? Why am I unaware of this till
and James
right now?
James Franco is Oz.
What?
You didn't know this movie, The Great and Powerful Oz, is coming out?
Where have I been? Oh.
There's a trailer for it. You can find it.
Guess I watched that. When does it come out?
3D,
Christmas
probably. Yeah, probably. I just look. My point is, I think that
it's just the internet. Calm down. I think that's your point.
That's basically it. But I just don't like seeing all these people going after but complaining is one thing, but to have a whole post that generates more posts about the one thing. If you guys are all so upset about what this one guy did, all you did was give him more attention and more popularity. And it's like, they're like, well, how are we supposed to complain and do it if we don't, like, I didn't mention his name. I didn't mention his name once, and I talked about him just fine. You don't even have to mention his name. And not because I don't really know the guy, and I have nothing against him. And a lot of these people are people that are on the cis user list. Some of these people, it's like going after people for a reason. Even for a reason. Like, what? Going after someone sounds pretty scary, doesn't it, Jane?
It sounds like you are getting a posse together.
Sounds like you're like a vampire hunter or something. You're going to go after him. We're going to stake him. We're going to kill him. Get him. We're going to get him. I mean, what happens when you get him? Then what happens? Okay, great. You told him off. What? You want to ban off Google Plus? Is that going to make your life better? I mean, I don't understand the point. It's like, oh, we're doing something better for all of Google Plus and all of mankind. What? Oh, R.I.P. Neil Armstrong, by the way. Yeah, I mean, like, give me a break. I don't think.
I thought about that as well. If they're so agitated about whoever it is, then they get banned. They can, just as if everyone who didn't like whatever they did blocked them, they can create a fake personality and show back up if they had the time and energy to do that. I mean, I have no desire to create a fake profile and work it and collect all these circlers, and that to me is just too much involvement. But
there are
people who do that, and you can't. I mean, there's nothing to stop you from doing it. Is my point. If you're banned on one side, you could enter on another.
Nice punny. That was punny.
Yeah, it was.
But
yeah, you could do that, correct? I mean,
you could. And there's actually a guy.
Name,
I think there's actually a guy that's going around, or I don't know if it's just one or a few, and he's going around keeping a list of all the men that have ever showed anything in Hangouts. And I'm
how would they know?
What?
How would he know?
He's
He's
collecting pictures of it, collecting the pictures. So I don't know if it's still going on.
I've never been to those creepy Hangouts.
Well, public, but either way, it's like my point is, by keeping a list and collecting all these people, the pictures. I mean, what is it? It's making the community better, I guess, in a sense, but it's weird. It's like, why? Like, what? I mean, that's why people can block and mute and all that. You know, anytime. I almost feel like if people have bad experiences with someone and they have disagreement and then, you know, and all that, is it now their job to then call in the entire community to totally destroy that person? Is that, I mean, there are situations and things happen, we're just saying, but is that, I mean, if that was the case, there would be way more posts from way more people destroying way more people. Like, I don't know. It just seems like too much. It's overkill, and anyway, all right, we can stop talking about it. But there's
a lot of drama.
I mean, and then you see people cursing at each other, and you know, women that disagree on it. And, I mean, I wonder, with this kind of intention, with someone like this, what would the intention be like if this person actually posted nude images of you, was someone that was doing like something actually terrible, illegal, saying negative things, being mean and trollish? I mean, I don't know. What would happen? Anyway, PLUStainment Show is not necessarily a soapbox. We soapboxed a little bit, but it just irked me that there was so much. I was irked. There was so much going on.
There was some irking.
I got irkled.
You got irkled.
Did I say that?
You got irkled. You know? You got irkled. I once had an enlightening conversation with someone else that wasn't you. And
it happens.
I know. And he once said something very wise, and we were in agreement. And it was that this platform is a lot like college. And you have all these different circles representing, you know, they could be sororities and fraternities and jocks and this and that. And so, you know, there are all these bubbles of activity that you may never cross with, and some that you cross over with. And there's a lot of stuff going on. It's just like college. Just saying.
So the pothead circle is going around?
Of course there is. I would assume.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There's an everything circle. I mean, honestly, the whole thing strikes me as college.
Well, it's funny
I
that you
lived on
mentioned
campus for 4 years.
Me too. It's funny you mentioned college because that's what Facebook was starting.
Oh, that is funny. But, and of course, my college is now a university. But yeah, I think that this is a lot like college. That's all. That's all I have to say.
It's
a lot of people talk about Hangouts in terms of bars, and they go from bar to bar. I never went to bars much. I mean, I've been to bars. I never went to bars and hung out with a regular group of people. For me, my college was small enough at the time where I could go from floor to floor to floor, dorm to dorm to dorm, and I would visit here, visit there, different groups of people, because I was always very social. And this just reminds me of college, and I would get all these different storylines and share all this different stuff. This is college all over, only not physically, except when you're having your hurls.
Yeah.
It's like the kegger.
It is like the kegger, and it's a lot of fun. I see Stephanie Wanamaker Hayes watching, and Heather Faye wants to play because her iPad died.
No.
James Cordero, and that whole Apple Samsung thing. Is that?
We'll have to get to that on the next show.
We'll have to get that. Yeah, another show.
You got urkled. We had too much.
I got urkled. I talked too much about Scott Firestein or Stein. I don't know. I think it's Stein. Just.
Again, show over. And by the way, all of Buffy is available on Netflix and Amazon Prime.
That's true. They're not sponsoring the show. And I cleaned up my room. You can't really see, but Jay noticed it. Jay noticed I cleaned up my room.
Yes, he cleaned up his room.
It's about time. Actually, the actor Kevin Pollak, I was at a friend's place, and his place wasn't crazy messy, but I did this whole Larry King impression, and he featured it on the show, and he tweeted it, and he was like, "That's very funny. Now go clean up your effing room." So that's what he said.
Yeah, it worked.
It worked.
Good job. I was really impressed today.
Oh, it's even my closet from how I was in there. Oh god, and that's not
You came out of your own closet?
I knew you were gonna say that. No,
it was right there. I couldn't let it go.
It was the blue hell closet. There was blue hell.
Okay.
But Jane Ellen, it's always a pleasure. What is coming up for your week as we wrap up? What is on the horizon?
What's coming up for my week?
A fun weekend? Anything?
Well, Max is going to come over here and pant and bark at me. That's coming up here. What is coming up for my week? Let's find out. Max,
is there a new Broad-Minded show coming up?
Oh, let's see. Yes. I thought you said, are you getting a new bra? Please don't.
Are you getting a new bra too? Are you going to the mall later?
Hush. Seriously, Max. I have no idea what I'm doing this week.
Tell us a little bit. So Broad-Minded will be
Broad-Minded is
together?
Thursday. And let's see. I have 2 doctor's appointments this week to keep me alive. Broad-Minded is Thursday.
I'm glad that you're alive.
Thank you very much.
Now, have you already covered the whole feminist women on the internet issue a million times on that show or anything like that?
No, we've never talked about it actually.
Okay, so if you want to bring it up, you're like, I think we've already talked about it here, but you want to get the purple and the other people.
Yeah, if we want to, I can say, I already covered it with Matthew. We're good. If you want to. So funny. You know that Max is here because you've seen him, but it sounds like I'm a ventriloquist heavy breathing somewhere else, doesn't it?
Woof. Woof, a big dog. Woof.
Of course, he can't hear you because of my...
He can't, but the audience can hear me, and that's what I want. That's all I want. I want them to hear me. But so that's awesome. And Thursday I have Sarah Hill will be my guest. So I should probably prepare more than normal. Not that, No. What is... Hey, so you were on the news for lots of years. What was that like?
Yeah, she loved that.
And you do this thing with the veterans, and you're the best.
What's that?
How does it feel to be interviewed by a Jew? Has that ever happened to you, Sarah Hill?
Sarah Hill, do you even know any Jews? What do you want in your bagel?
You're a shiksa. What? You're not coming on my show now. We lost viewers because I said shiksa.
Yeah, I think she would really like that.
She would love that. She and I will be charming the pants off the audience. Literally.
I have no idea how you could fail. Yeah.
No. And then we
don't wear pants when you interview her.
I won't. We got Mark Rodriguez. We have this big plus.
It is Mark Jensen's birthday today.
And that is happy birthday, Mark Jensen. And Mark Rodriguez made an awesome movie mashup just for Mark Jensen's birthday.
He is fantastic. So there. And with this, we bid you
farewell. And again, September 12th, Hangout anniversary. Jane Ellen hopefully will be there, and all the past guests, Suite 709, and a lot of surprises. And hopefully Jane will make sure I don't fall asleep in the middle of it.
I will be there with the coffee.
With the hot coffee. The hot coffee and
is that
hot coffee. Hot coffee is neither a youth nor it is of disgust. All right. Good night. Farewell. May the pens be with you. Wait, let me take a picture. And we're